Hey girl, sit tight, don't mind the chaos, and just vibe. Hi besties.
Editing message. Before you listen to this episode, I do want it to be known that I'm in my ludio phase, okay, y'all? I get a little emotional during this episode, but know that it's satire, okay? No, I'm just playing. But these are real nigga tears. These are thug tears. No wimp shit. Lock in. Love you. What is up, besties? It is your host, Zoe, and I'm back with another freaking episode on the Did I Overshare podcast today. How are my girls doing? How are my guys doing? How are we all doing? Huh? Good? Period. It's almost fall, guys. Are we locked in? Are we ready for fall? Are we ready for Christmas? Because I am, but like not in the sense where I'm decorating it. And I feel like last year and the year before that, I was very much a person who I was decorating right now. But over the past years, I've wanted to enjoy my holiday in my months while I can. I feel like life is moving so fast. Like there's no way this year's already almost over. There's no way in my head, at least. So there's that. I'm really excited for fall though. Overall, I love Halloween and I love Christmas, so that's fun. And I don't really have much business to get into today. I do have an early access episode subscriber thing that you guys can be on the lookout for coming soon. On Apple and Spotify, I know for sure. I don't know anywhere else at the moment, but that's currently where I have those subscriber lists sitting, and they will be ad-free and early access. So yeah, so exciting. But before we get into today's episode, if you are new, well, what's up? Great episode to pick for your first one. Thank you for jumping on this roller coaster. You are no longer able to get off. Okay, thank you. And if you're not new, well, what the fuck is up? Okay, what the fuck is up? It's another week. It's another Tuesday, and life is good. You know, and there's really nothing to complain about. And if you do end up liking this podcast, please leave a 5-star rating and a 5-star review in the show notes down below at the bottom of the episode. Also, in the description will be social medias of all the Did I Overshare accounts, my personal accounts, link to resources. Link to resources? Okay. I don't know what that was, but so what is today's episode about? You may ask. Today's episode is parentification in youngest daughters. And before we get into this episode, I would love to say that I might trauma dump, and for me, it's coming from a place of education. I really hope you know I am not just trying to get on here and just vent, bash, do all this. So please bear with me on that. But I do have some really good examples of how I face this in my life, and maybe actions you can catch up on or things you may have experienced it, or if you just want to learn and listen to the episode, get into that. I have 2 ads that I'm going to leave down below. I want you guys to check out their videos. Their videos helped my brain construct a lot of thoughts. Like they were literally, I seen these videos and I'm like, oh my God, I have a topic. I have a topic because I relate to this closely, dearly. Hello? Dearly, okay? And it is at Not For Sale Danielle and then Dr. Sam, both on TikTok, which I will link down below. Go check out their videos. Very good, very insightful. 10 out of 10, okay? But yeah, so I know as women, right, a lot of the discourse we see online when it comes to daughters and, you know, issues kind of within the home, it's usually, oh, I'm the eldest daughter. Oh, I'm this. You know, you had to raise the siblings. You had this, that, the other. And when I say this, when I'm going into this episode, I want it to be known that this is not me taking away from that in any aspect. Honestly, I'm going to back some research later. It really does show that this is simply just a trait that is shared throughout daughters, you know, worldwide historically. It's not really a birth order thing. So kind of abandon that throughout this conversation today. Don't get too stuck on, well, I'm the oldest, so that hoe's wrong. No, that's not what I mean. A lot of times birth order does not affect it, but birth order does have a play on certain things. But when it comes to parentification, majority, it's a woman thing. It's a daughter thing, right? Okay. But like I said, a lot of people think the eldest daughter is the one who had all of the disadvantages, and the youngest could never experience such thing. They were always the spoiledest. They were always the favorite. This, that, the other. I know in my life it was viewed like that, and I know a plethora of other people who also experienced that. But youngest does not equate to having a better life or living a better life at all. And now there is one thing I can admit, at least in my situation personally, I do know that being the oldest, like having my oldest siblings and stuff like that, they had my mom at a point when she wasn't as stable. She was young. She was learning. She was doing this. And I can acknowledge that. So for me, understand where I'm coming from and a point of this is I had resources. This is not me diminishing that in any way. And I know life gets extremely hard for everybody and people go through horrible things. I had resources. I was blessed to have a roof over my head. I was blessed to have food on my table. I had resources. And I know for eldest siblings, that sometimes might not be the case because you do have that parent when they are at, their most infantile, I'd say, because, their brain, I know for my mom, she was a teen, her brain wasn't even developed yet. How can somebody take that on at that age, right? So I acknowledge that. But I don't think as a group we need to invalidate each other's experiences when going into this topic. Because I think we all relate to trauma in a way. I think we all relate to the same experience. And no matter what, your life, you got a different parent. We all got different parents. We all might be in the same household, but a lot of times we all got different parents. Okay? So, for me, what this looked like, and for me, I had to parent myself. And in the parentification of daughters, a lot of the times the daughter is the independent one. She's the emotional regulation for the family. She is, you don't need to parent her. You don't really need to pay attention to her. She's kind of like the bedroom child. Me, exhibit A. That was me. And sorry, sometimes I don't really know where I want to go next because I have so many thoughts. So if you catch me pausing a lot, I'm trying to have the correct verbiage when I speak. Okay? So let me start with the relationship I have with my siblings and how that dynamic works in this very broad spectrum of a fucked up family dynamic. Okay? So my sister, I grew up in a house with my brother. I grew up with my brother my entire life, which is so odd to say because we don't talk now. So it's kind of like, damn, bro, I was literally with you every day. Like, what is happening now? But my sister, she lived with her dad the majority of her life. But I've always seen my sister. My sister was always around. But as I got older, my sister's like, her behavior to me was always weird. But as I got older, the more she would say things that would just kind of have me looking at her sideways. It was like I was the perfect golden goose. Like, oh my, like, she hated me for it. Like, this is okay, hold on. I'm really not trying to put all my business out there, but I am. I'm at a point in my podcast where I feel like that's needed for the depth of this episode, okay? So family, they don't listen anyway. I don't really give a fuck. But, so, it was like, me and my sister, I think I have like 2 pictures with her total. There's probably more out there, yes, probably. But 2 that I can recall, I can remember. But meanwhile, her with my brother, my brother's kind of the favorite in everybody's eyes. I hate to say it, but like, I love my brother, but he's like the favorite in everybody's eyes. My mom's eyes, he's my sister's favorite sibling, everything like that. But I don't know if it was because I was a girl. I truly don't know what it was because in my head, I would expect that behavior from her, like, to both of us, my brother too, because he got my mom in the house too. Her thing was kind of like, oh, well, you got the mom I didn't have, right? And in a sense, I hear you. As a hurting child, I hear you. As an adult, I don't hear you because as an adult, it started to turn into when we would have conversations, it would turn into belittlement. It would turn into her just being fucking mean. Like, holy fuck. It was so mean. Or like saying things about my mother or saying things about people I love that she knew would hurt. Hey, well, they do that. Hey, well, they do that. They do that. They talk like that. They do this. And it's just kind of like, she spoke down on me as the remainder of this episode, please know there will be triggers of all kind. So I can't really specify. So if you're not really ready for that, put this episode down. Thanks. But I'm going to get into this. I remember the first time, this is an example for everybody. The first time it was learned that I had self-harmed, right? For my family. The first time it was learned, what my sister told me was, what is wrong with you? She was like, what is wrong with you? My brother was like, what, did you see that on TikTok? Not TikTok. TikTok wasn't around at the time. What he was like, what, did you see that online or something? What, are you trying to be cool? And my mom didn't do anything. She just kind of existed. That was really it. And I hope that paints the picture for you. In everybody else's eyes, I was the youngest. Nothing could be wrong with me, right? But it was also one of those things, I never got in trouble as a kid. Because in my head, there was no time for me to get in trouble, especially when you are the youngest and you have older siblings who maybe aren't going down the best route, who in theory may have disappointed your parents. Not saying they are disappointments, but, in turn, disappointed your parents. So now you are being held on a higher pedestal, right? It's like I had no time to mess up. I had no time to do that because since I came out, we had to go here for my brother. We had to go there for my sister. We had to get them out of this. We had to do this. We had to do this. And then I had to regulate my mom in all of that. I was her golden child as well. To the whole family, I was the golden child. Like, what the fuck is wrong with her? What's wrong with her? You don't do nothing. We haven't said to you, and y'all know me. I'm extremely emotional. I've been emotional my whole life. I've been a crybaby my whole life. God damn it, I'm a Cancer mood. Fine. Like, it's just me. So imagine being a kid. There's a screaming match in the kitchen. Cops are getting called. Hands are being thrown. Somebody's about to say, other one. And now you're going over to your 30-something-year-old mom, trying to calm her down. And you're trying to go to your brother, trying to calm him down. Trying to go to your sister, trying to calm him down. Guys, please get the family back together. Guys, please. Right? And that's where it starts. That's where this cycle starts. All these examples I gave, these feelings that were harbored, that's where it builds. Those little comments, those little actions, the little rebuilding over time, a little emotional regulation over here, that's where it starts. That's where this parentification starts. It starts with you being the easy child, with you not needing anything. You're not too loud, you're not getting in trouble, you don't really need help with your grades, you're passing. What the fuck? What the fuck else more could your parents ask for? Kind of, you're crazy at this point. What else could you want? But the issue when it comes to parentification is the emotional neglect. Because I'm going to be honest, growing up my whole life, I think it never became clear to me. I'm going to be honest, it didn't really become clear to me until 7th grade and up. 7th grade, I would never in a million years wish 7th grade on anybody. Never. Fuck 7th grade. But that's when I finally started getting around other people and realizing, hey, I feel some type of way. I feel some type of way, just a little bit, right? Because damn, I am kind of the easy child. And I was always a person, I was always allowed to do what I want. And that's what I mean. I'm going to get there, but a part of my brain still is trying to convince me that the way I feel is wrong because you had a roof over your head. People have it way worse. When that's me putting my own feelings aside, and I can't do that, because that's unfair to myself. It doesn't matter what, this is that. I still went through what I went through. And I think when having these older siblings and they're kind of setting the path for you and you grow up. Okay, so me and my siblings have a huge age gap. So my brother is 5 years older than me, 5 or 6, 5? Yes, 5 years older than me. My sister's like 9, 10 years older than me. Fine. Cool. Cool, but the age gap makes it worse because you're a kid in the midst of all this. So it's really, you're kind of just watching adults kind of go at it for a minute, right? So the emotional regulation is already kind of confusing there. It's already kind of confusing because I'm the kid, right? And on top of this, going through that, you know, having to be there for my mom whenever she was upset, because I had to say, my mom is very much the type of person where she is like, okay, let's say I walk up to her and I'm like, hey, I really don't like this. I'm scared. What the fuck are you scared for? I didn't say anything to you. Nobody yelled at you. I had to happen to speech specifically once. It was like, I remember I was crying because everybody was arguing and I didn't know what to do. I had only been calm and hiding in my room for so long because I'm like, okay, well, how can I calm everybody down? How can I help this situation? You know, how can I help the family? And that's also a big character trait in parentification in daughters, is trying to heal the family, trying to be the family therapist. And I caught myself in that position so many times, to where it was the point where I would say something and I'm like, hey, I don't know what to do at this point. I'm losing my shit. Now I'm crying. Now I'm scared because I'm scared. The cops are getting called on my siblings and my mother. Like, what the fuck? Y'all are my family. What's happening? And it's everybody. Like, I would have my mom, my sister, and my brother all look at me like, what the fuck is your issue? It's like I wasn't able, not to say to be a kid in a capacity, but I wasn't. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember a big chunk of my childhood. I think once I get to first grade, I don't remember first grade to fourth grade. I don't remember none of that. And I know some parts why, but my brain, truly, I don't remember that. So I really can only speak on the parts of childhood that I vividly remember, you know? And I was definitely the TV kid. I grew up as a kid I've always had friends and their parents talk shit about me. No shade, no kind of shade though, because y'all were grown ass, these people were grown ass adults talking about me. They'd be like, oh, she's fat, she's this, she's that, simply because I was able to do whatever I want. And I wasn't bad at all. I wasn't a bad kid at all. But I was a kid who straight after school, I would go outside. As long as I was in the house before it was pitch black, fine. And I didn't realize none of this was ever an issue to me. So it's like, I'm going to be honest, it seems like a lot of my family thinks I gave them whiplash. I'm going to be honest, and I probably did. Because when I started thinking it, I started putting the pieces together real fucking quick. And once I hit 18, all the pieces crumbled. So starting at 12, probably 12, I started realizing, hey, I'm feeling a little alone in this house. I'm feeling a little alone. Nobody ever pays attention to me. I started finding myself in positions where my mother would get so upset. She would either be she would be like upset with life. She would be upset with life, and it gets taken out on who's around her. Not like full transparency, full honesty. Do not talk to that lady when she's mad, because she's gonna hit you with a what? And it's like, fuck, dang, I just wanted to know if I could get $20 for my school field trip. That's it. I just want to know if you can come to my basketball game. That's it. And once I started hitting 12 years old, I was kind of realizing, who the fuck I'm supposed to go to when I'm upset? Who the fuck I'm supposed to go to? Because it was like, she was always upset. I had to figure her out. And it's like, I'm going to tie this in now, because I feel like it makes the biggest, I think, greatest comparison. That happened when I was a kid, right? She would be so upset. I'm trying to go to her for comfort, for, hey, I don't know what's going on. I feel very sad. I have this going on. But she had her own things going on, so that kind of blindsided her. Fast forward to when I was an adult and I moved away. Every time I got a phone call from her, like, you know, a random day, a mom calling, nothing was ever about me. And I'm going to be honest, that it hurts. It hurts trying to understand why. I don't think any of my family members could ever name a color I've ever liked at any point. Like, hate to say it, nobody knows shit about me, because whenever she would call, whenever anybody calls, it's, hey, I'm venting. Hey, your sister did this today. Your brother did this today. This is what's happening in my life. I hate my life. Well, what am I supposed to do? I just wish you were here to help me. Blah, blah, blah. Me. Well, fuck. I'm an 18-year-old and I'm just trying to pay my rent. I don't even know how to figure out credit, and I just don't even. That's what it's like to be a parentified daughter. It feels helpless to a point. I remember at a point in my life, I wanted to get in trouble. At a point, I just wanted to get in trouble. I wanted to get in trouble. I remember I got my first ever detention. And like I said, my brother trouble his whole life. My sister ended up getting in trouble. She's cool. And then she ended up getting in trouble. Cool. Always had appointments, always had a therapist, always had doctors. I remember when she told me she knew both of their social security numbers, but she didn't know mine. I said, okay, period. Because at first you're thinking, oh, like it's a social security number. It's not that fucking deep. Then it's just kind of like, why you know theirs? Why don't you know mine? She's like, well, I never had to deal with you. You never had anything going on. Okay, slay. What the fuck? So it's like, they're doing all of this. They're all over. I got my first attention. Maybe fifth, maybe. I had a friend, you know what? And a low key is still fuck you sometimes. I think about this and it's still fuck you. I don't even talk to you, you cool. But if I think about this, it's still fuck you. We're best friends. Best friends at the time. She flicked me off in class. I flicked the bitch back off. She got caught snitched on me. Fine. Whatever. I'm not still thinking about it. No, Miss Zoe, who never got in trouble. I got my first attention. I cried about it, was shitting myself. I thought, day was come. The day has come. Oh my gosh. I go in the house. Everybody just starts. I go straight to my room. I stay in my room. Except like 4 hours pass after school. They come back up 7, 8. Are you gonna come eat? I said, oh, I thought I was grounded. Like, I remember at a point she took my brother's door away. She took his TV away. She almost took this nigga bed frame away. Like, I was prepared. I got down there. Everybody just laughed at me. Like, I just remember them laughing at me, and they just did this and turned around. Like, I wanted to get in trouble at a point because I'm just like, well, shit, can I do anything? And thinking that I really probably should have had a more entertaining life than I had. Fine. But it's little things like that having this, sorry, y'all, my cats are racing, that having this past and this baggage, dare I say, that's when it shows up. You know, it showed up in those moments when I would get in trouble and I'm like, damn, I just kind of want, can I even get in trouble? Do you give a fuck enough to yell at me? Shit, anything? Like, it was to the point, I'm just like, dude, I remember when I first got into a relationship with Michi. First, his mom had to call my mom before we even hung out. Fine, never had that happen before, but cool. I was like, okay, yeah, whatever. And every time me and Michi would hang out, and it's still like this as an adult, and holy hell, it irritates the shit out of me. His phone rings like 20 times a day. It's granny calling, it's granddad calling, it's his mom calling, it's his dad calling, it's his sister calling. Hey, are you good? Hey, what's going on? Hey, you need anything? How you doing? Blah, 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 blah. If we went out to the mall, they would call him mid-mall at least twice. Hey, you good? Or shoot a text, anything. I could be out from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. Not one phone call. Not one text, bitch. And it would be like, damn it, I'm irritated. Because, and then whenever I would bring it up, I remember I think it was the first time I ever said something about it. You know, I had got to my wit's end. I was like, damn it, yell at me. Do something. We were in the garage. I think it was junior year of high school. We were in the garage. We're arguing. She was not taking me fucking seriously at all. Because I'm going to be honest, I've never raised my voice at my mother. Never. My family thought I was the quietest kid. Thought I would lose I remember one of them, my mom saying I was going to lose my virginity at like 24. I don't talk to nobody, blah, 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 blah. At school, I didn't shut the fuck up. Everybody told me I didn't shut the fuck up. Why do you think we're here today? Okay? So it was like that. That's how you know something was a little different. Okay? Something was a little different. And it's like I don't know how it started. I don't know what I said. I truly don't know how it started. But I remember at one point in the argument, she was like, well, I don't need to do anything. You know, she was like, you do it all. What do you want me to do? Do you want me to yell at you or something? And she laughed. And I just remember screaming and I had tears running down my face. I said, yes, do anything. Shit, yell at me. Fuck, be mad. Do something. Show you care in the slightest fucking way. Because it was like I've done sports my whole life. I've done like 4 sports my entire fucking life. Like I cheered for like 16 years. It was to a point like from grade 6 to like sophomore year of high school, I attended every game by myself. I was that friend. hey, can your dad take me? Can your mom take me? Can they do this? My mom ain't have shit to do. She ain't have shit to do. And the only time she started showing up to my games is when she got with her current boyfriend. Because he came to my games. He wanted to come to my games. And then senior year hit and they were out. But it was one of those things, it was like, I was always with somebody else, and being around other people and being around other family dynamics will really make you realize something is indeed wrong in yours. Something is indeed wrong in yours. And like I said, every time I would bring these issues up, it was, well, you're easy. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Guys, would you believe me if I told you Michi taught me how to drive? Okay. Understand that. The parentification is more damaging than I think a lot of people let on, because it's like, okay, in my parents' eyes, they're probably like, I didn't do shit wrong. You know, I could have abused her. Like, it was always one of those things. Look at your life. Well, look at this. Well, look at this. And it was like, that's not what I'm asking for. And I'm grateful for that. And a part of me would be like, well, damn, am I ungrateful? Well, let me just shut up. Let me just go back to my room, because clearly I'm being ungrateful right now, right? But if you think about it, I just was asking for a motherfucker to care. A child asking for someone to care. That's why I have to do so much inner fucking child work today, because I'm overly independent with my emotions, with fucking everything. And the relationship I've had with women my whole life has been so destructive because of that. Because I tend to cling. I tend to, for my mom, like I said, I was an emotional kid, but I always fought for her attention. What the fuck can I do? You know, what will make you notice me? What will make me be great? Because I was great in every single fucking way. I've won every award. I've hit every milestone. I've done everything I could. But hey, at least I wasn't dropping out in and out of prison. Hey, at least I wasn't doing that. But let me tell you, the one time I would slip up, the one time I would get an attitude a little too hard, death to all. Death to all. We're done. Right? So understand, parents, if you, let's say you're in the opposite spectrum, right? And you've caught yourself telling your child or someone you care about, well, you're just easy. What do you want me to do? I want you to imagine saying that to a 5-year-old. As a 5-year-old is sitting there crying, I want you to look in their face and be like, well, what do you want me to do? You know? Or imagine a 5-year-old at graduation looking for her parent. Not saying this was me. That's not what I'm saying. And you're just like, well, I had shit to do. Your 5-year-old's really struggling in math. I don't know why I picked 5. Your 5-year-old's really struggling in math. But all the rest of their grades are perfect. What do you want me to do? Sometimes a kid just want you to give a fuck. I hate to say it. And the cycle can stop so much sooner if parents understand that you sat down and decided to have a kid. You. And I understand there might be a lot, but when it comes to that youngest, you don't get to stop being a parent. You don't get to choose to just walk away. You don't get to choose to be done. Because you sat there and you had a kid. So raise the damn kid. Stop letting the rest of your world raise your damn kid. Like, if I'm going to be honest, being at Granny's house from fucking 12 when I met Michi to fucking now, I think I might have learned more. I hate to say it. Like I told you, these people couldn't even name my favorite color, right? And then when you get older, let me tell you what this turns into. It turns in, because when you were a child, yes, this parent was, a lot of times in parentification, this parent is emotionally reliant on the kid to soothe them. So like I said, my mom would always come to me, well, your sister's doing this. What do I do? You know, I just can't. And while she's crying in my arms, while I'm sitting here consoling my mom. And as a daughter, my mom's crying. What do you want me to do? Well, fuck, how do I help? But it was like, the type of person she is, it never meshed well, because it wasn't just we had a relationship where I was soothing her and, you know, it would be fine. No, it wasn't. It would be I was soothing her, you'd get fine, But then if I say something next, you would snap. You know, it's kind of, you're walking on eggshells at all time, and that's how it is with my entire family. And I see it happen with every single person. There's parentification in all the fuckers. I see them. I see it. Everybody had, like I said, every age, no matter youngest, middle, whatever the fuck. Everybody has their own dynamic. Everybody went through something, and that's me not denying any of it. I'm not saying any of my family has had perfect lives. I've known my mother has had a hard life. I understand that. But that's not my fault as a child, you know? And I think it's really important that as a collective, we understand that if you were that child, if you were put in that place, that's not your fault. It's not your fault that you had to regulate the grown-ups around you. It's not your fault that you had to be quiet in your room so at least you wouldn't stress nobody out for the day when you're really just failing your classes or you're just really having a fucking bad day. Like, it's hard doing that. It's hard trying to cope as an adult now because I was just a child who was in her room and just thought all of the time. Mind you, I had unlimited internet access. What is this? Like, maybe that's why I'm so funny. But, like, the children you're raising are adults and women who are supposed to go out here and lead and be loud and be proud. But in reality, we just sit stuck in our head, like, because as a child, all I could do was being my head, you know? Y'all, it was gonna get emotional. Y'all know what type of bitch I am, okay? But as a child, all I could do was be stuck in my head. I had no option to try to address what was going on with me, you know? I'm not even going to say what I wanted to say, but I had something blatantly occur to me for years of my life in front of my entire family. And to this day, I've had 3 of them tell me, well, that can't be. Well, that can't be. So as a child, when you're used to people avoiding you, when you're used to your emotions being put second, your mentality being put second, your problems, because your problems, they really are smaller. And they're not smaller in importance. That's not what I mean. No matter what the problem is, big or small, it needs to be addressed. And as a parent, I think even if your child has the stupidest fucking breakdown of their life, it is your job as a parent to sit there and allow them to break down in your arms. I think so, in my opinion. Right? But I think as an adult, not allowing them to do that, you in turn raise adults that still don't know how to talk about their damn feelings. And it goes on to affect their friendships. It goes on to affect their relationships because these things occur. And I know I'm crying. But no, this is not from a place of sadness at all. I am so healed to the point I kind of am just talking about this at passion because it is so damning for our society. And I see it in the women around me. I see it in the people I interact with. As an adult, I meet people at college, wherever. You can see it in these people. You can see it when you're on TikTok and your close friends and their repost. A lot of us did go through this. A lot of us were emotionally neglected. A lot of us did not have people who showed up for us. We did not have a support system. So ultimately, what did we do? We turned inward. We go to ourselves because, duh, that's the safest place. It's all about safety, really, with your nervous system. Growing up in an environment where everything's kind of shaky, you never really know where the emotions are going to be. And you're also kind of brushed to the side that, hey, you're not this big problem right now. We got bigger issues. Calm down. You're kind of used to just putting your emotions to the side. Like, I'm getting better, but I'm very good at saying, well, it's whatever. It's whatever. Fine. Cool. I'll figure it the fuck out. Like, and I just store it away in my head. Or I overthink in my head. I do this in my head. And it's habits I've had to break from myself from a child. Because I felt like I didn't have a place to speak, but I also felt like, why would I speak? Because as a child, yeah, I did. I kind of got to the point where I'm just like, well, shit, yeah, there is more, important things going on. I'm not about to sit here and cry because somebody called me this at school. Why would I do that? Why would I do that? Why would I do that? Why would I go stress my mom out more? And And you might think, like, as an adult, and let's say you are somebody who you're on the opposite end of the spectrum, you're like, well, that's your fault and you didn't say anything because my mother's told me that plenty of times. Well, it's not my fault. You didn't tell me. How was I supposed to know? How was I supposed to know this? You never told me. I can't name a time like when you think of these parents, when you think of these situations you were put in, when has somebody ever asked you, were you okay? And it be genuine and not be are you okay? What's wrong? Because then, no, I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk at that point. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to answer. The 7-year-old is me like, damn. And me, I hate to be, y'all, I'm a little bit of like, I hate getting in trouble. I've been like that my whole life. Like, I don't do well with people yelling at me, like people I love, like my mother. Like, if she yelled at me, yeah, I'm crying. Yeah, I'm going to shut the fuck up and I'm just going to sit there because I don't want to make you more mad at me, because why would I want to do that? I'm a kid. I love you. And like I said, and then like 12 hit. And I started seeing shit for what it was. And that's when, like I said, my first actual argument where I actually yelled at her, I think for the first time, was junior year. And I mean, that's that. Usually, I think in this case, a lot of women still find themselves stuck in this cycle very late in their life, And the next part I'm going to get into is how things I've dealt with as an adult, still before I caught myself and got myself out this, and how to get out of it. Like I said, how are we going to get out of this? So, for me, one of the biggest turning points for me when I really seen shit for what it was. My whole life, I kind of just, I knew it was there, but in my head, it was still family. It was still my mother, still my brother and my sister. Like, I want the best for them. Like, I hate that their lives are like this. I want to do better. I loved these people so much, truly would go to the ends of the earth, like, truly. And first of all, I was never fucking reciprocated. Never. But then, was it 17? It was the summer of junior year. I was going in to be a junior, or no, I was going in to be a senior. So it was like that junior year to senior year summer. I think 2022 summer. I don't know. I remember during this time, things were getting bad for me again, mentally. And I hadn't touched that place since 7th grade. Like, I hadn't been there for a long time, but I knew the patterns. I knew myself well enough. And I knew I had to get some help. I remember like a month before I had went to my mother and I was like, hey, I feel myself going down a really bad path. Can you get me a therapist? Because we didn't have insurance at the time. And I was like, can you get me a therapist? Can you get insurance? She looked at me, she said, yeah, okay. 2 months go by. I reminded her every month at this point. I was like, hey, the insurance yet? No. I relapsed. I don't know why. Don't question me. Don't know her. Don't question that. But I did. Not proud of it. Not my best moment. But I did. And when she found out, her reaction told me everything I needed to know. Verbatim. I know she don't listen, but verbatim. What? Are you trying to kill yourself again? Because I'm at work and I have stuff going on. I need to know because you got your coach calling me all in a frenzy when nothing is going on at home. What is wrong with you? Are you going to kill yourself again? I need to know so we can do something with you. Okay. Slay. Mind you, I was getting out the car to walk into Planet Fitness with me. It was the worst time. And I had just had like some pre-workout and I kind of just already didn't give a fuck at this point. Like junior year, senior year, I already knew what the fuck shit was. Like I knew how life was going. I was just kind of like, I don't give a fuck what she's saying. I don't give a fuck what she's saying. Like truly, I don't. Like, what are you talking about? I got so much shit going on. You are not my focus. Like, one of my closest childhood friends had just also taken his life. And then I lost another friend that weekend. Like, there was a lot going on that summer, okay? A lot. Let me tell you. And none of it. Like, it was bound and determined to happen. So let me tell you what I did. That's when I was like, do I stop this loop? Or do I keep it going? Am I just going to sit here and succumb to everything around me? No, I'm not. I waited 4 more months. I turned 18 that November. that November. And in school, the second I turned 18, I went to my in-school counselor and I said, I need a fucking therapist. Give me a therapist. Not a great therapist. Cut her off. She was weird. But I did that for myself. I told myself, you know what? If the adults in my life aren't going to take charge of my life and want me to be better and teach me how to exist, I'll do it for myself. I got it. And ever since that day, bitch, can't nobody tell me nothing. Bitch, can't nobody tell me nothing about anything. I pay all my bills. I think I've only ever had to reach out for help twice. Didn't even get it. And then was told I ran off with the fucking money. Girl, Carbo. Fuck everybody at this point. That's why I left. And this might be a telltale, right? And this might be sounding like I'm just venting. And maybe I am. But this is me. I had the parentification. I am the youngest daughter. I went through it verbatim. Every video, every research topic I seen, I was part of that fucking statistic. But I'm not continuing it because a lot of that statistics was women still in their 30s, women still in their 40s dealing with a pain in the ass family. And we're not doing that. This is your life. You need to be your own hero. I was mine. I practice emotional regulation. I'm healing my nervous system. I'm making sure the shit I went through as a kid will never be repeated ever again in my fucking generation. And I promise if my kids ever try some shit, I'm getting them too. It will never be repeated. Never. Because when you grow up, these people, they become needy. They feel, especially when you distance yourself. So for me, the second I turned 18, I think I moved to North Carolina 2 months after I graduated, around there. And let me backtrack this. When you have these adults in your life and they see you about to leave them. And like I said, you have been this emotional regulation their whole life. You have been the so-called glue or whatever it may be, the only sane mind in the house, the favorite. Because if one thing, my mom might have never said nothing to me, but the way she bragged on my name to everybody she knew, it was like you couldn't tell her shit. She done raised the best damn daughter ever. Couldn't tell her shit. But she couldn't even tell you my favorite color, motherfucker. She couldn't. But I was one to brag on. She still do it. Like if I pop up to go get my niece's car seat or some shit, she's like, guys, this is my daughter. Oh, boo. And I might sound harsh, but I had to get here. And I'm telling you, if you find yourself in this predicament, you need to get there too. These are cycles that cannot be repeated because we just push ourselves back into deeper loneliness, hyper independence. And like I said, it's like a parasite. Is that the word I want to use? Parasite the best? Or like maybe like an infection. But like I said, when you grow up, these people end up becoming needy. Like I said, the parentification could be coming from your father. In my case, it was my mother and my siblings. Cool. It could come from your father. This could be general. I don't mean to isolate that to just my situation or my examples. Please know this is very inclusive. Anybody can do this to a child. And when you become an adult, you, in a way, enable it. You allow these things to happen to you because at a point, you cannot view yourself as a victim. I think me viewing myself as a victim throughout all of high school and everything, holy hell, I was insufferable, first of all. Second of all, it's so bad for your mind. It is so bad for your mind. I can't even express the damage it can even do to your health to be put in these situations, to not be able to communicate properly, to not be able to express your feelings because of fear of reactions, to overly, deal with other people's emotions around you. Like I would take on the emotions of all my friends and everything. Well, how can I help? What can I do? And then bitches walked all over me, just like my mama did, just like everybody else, because I enabled it. I allowed that shit to happen. And that's what it turns into. You answering every single time like me answering every single time she would call just to complain about what's going on at home and not ask me anything about what the fuck college class I'm even taking, what year I'm in, like what the fuck's going on with my life. Every time I answered, I enabled. Every time I sat there in her face and said, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You know, I really hope it gets better. I love you. What do you want me to do? Blah, blah, blah. I enabled that. I went against my own feelings. Everything that I said I was going to stand on, I went against that. And I did it for like 2 years. And then I'll be honest, I went no contact. And no contact was the hardest thing I've done in that relationship. Because it took everything in me every day, every ounce of my brain telling me, but that's your mom, but that's your sister, but that's your brother. You only get one, to tempt me to break no contact every day. But I didn't. Because they only get one me. I only get one me. Fuck y'all. No shade. Actually, all shade. And I say that with love. I say it with love to myself. I had to be the one who chose myself, who chose my emotions, who decided to advocate for me. Whether that went against family, love, religion, respect, no matter what it was, I have learned how to choose me. And I bring it up in so many other episodes. You know, this isn't a one-way street. This isn't just an overnight thing. This isn't, oh, I just decide I'm just not going to talk to her. When it's your family, trying to be apart from your family will suck. It will suck. But then when you think about how you invited your whole family to your 8th grade graduation and only Michi's family showed up, you'll start to remember, yeah, that's why I'm choosing myself, right? I want you, every single time you get a doubt on why you're taking a step forward to be a better you, remember every single time you were neglected. You weren't able to put yourself first. You weren't able to show up for you because you had to show up for those around you. And I don't care if you're the oldest sister. You probably still had to do it too. If your mom was falling apart with your younger siblings, you probably had to pick her up too, or the middle. It doesn't matter where you are. What matters is that you probably went through it. And if you didn't, all grace be to you. But also if you didn't, have grace to others. Because I met so many people in my life. I've had people tell me, well, I don't know why you act like that. Like, you know, I've had so many things be brought up. And simply they all tie back to reasons. Which you can't, like I say this all the time, you can't expect the world to know everything about you or the world to just be gentle to you. You need to expect the world to fuck you. I hate to say it, but the world will bend you over, tie you up, and fuck you. Hard. TMI, but it will. It will. It don't have favorites. You aren't excluded from anything. Anything can happen to you. So be nicer to the person around you. Be nicer to the people around you. Have some respect because, and actually talk to the people around you. Ask questions. Be a good friend. Be inquisitive. Be a good girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever you are. When you see your partner, instead of saying, well, she just don't know how to fucking communicate. I'm just not about to do this. Think about why the fuck she don't know how to communicate. And I'm not saying be ignorant about it, right? But have a little grace. Because I promise you, we are all dealing with things and we all have things that are going on. And if there are people I know listening to this, I don't know if a lot of people I know listen to my podcast because I'm worldwide, baby. You don't know the motherfucking Tanzania, do you? I do, though. Thanks. Anyway, I don't know if anybody who I know listens to this. And if you do, oops, I'm sorry. But I've also never talked about any of it. And the comments that were said to me in my life, the things I have dealt with my whole life, I haven't. And I don't mean to paint anybody in a bad light, but I can't paint something that wasn't already there. You know, I wish draw my life was still a thing. This would definitely be my draw my life. Do y'all remember that on the whiteboards? You know? And I seen another video. It ties in with the answering the phone and everything. Stop being useful. If you find yourself as an adult and you're still dealing with these issues, stop being useful. That's what she said. She was like, stop being useful. Stop answering the fucking phone. Because she was, in the example she was given, she was like, her older sister taught her, like, her older sister, nobody can reach her. So nobody calls her anymore asking for nothing because they know she will not answer. She will not be their first confidant. That's me. I love being a deadbeat daughter. I love it. I hate to say it. I love it. I don't rely on anybody for shit. They still give their opinions, but I don't rely on nobody for shit. Promise you the $20 I might have asked you for one time was for Chick-fil-A. It was not for nothing serious, okay? Not like you helped anyway. But it was one of those things where it's just like, fuck. How do I repair myself as an adult? How do I get myself out of this cycle? And I don't ever claim to sit up here and say I'm healed. But I'm not going to deny the work I've done to get to where I'm at. I am able to be around these people and my nervous system does not get shot. I couldn't even be in the same vicinity of these people without expecting the worst or just having to have a guard up or being scared to say something because, like, anything. Like, even my older sister one time, like, we're adults at this point. I think I was like 19, 20 maybe. I'm an adult. But it was like, her and my brother always play. Like, they're funny people. Like, they're always playing. And one time I was in the kitchen, I was just like, girl, shut the fuck up talking to me. And I walked away. Lost her shit. Holy, she lost her shit. And I was just like, what the fuck? Am I not? I was just like, what? And my brother did the exact same thing like 10 minutes later, and it was perfectly fine. Now, at this point, I'm just talking. But I think about that. These were all things that kind of got me to my wit's end. And I, like I said, I still deal with the feeling of feeling like it doesn't, not say it doesn't matter in a way, because I never want to say it doesn't matter. It matters in every single way, even if it was stupid. No matter how small it is, it matters. But a part of me alienated myself for so long because I didn't have it the hardest. And I don't want you guys to ever put yourself in that situation, even if it doesn't pertain to this, no matter what. People have hard lives. Horrible shit happens every fucking day. Every fucking day. But that doesn't take away from any of the pain you've ever experienced. Even if somebody did something so small, if you experience pain, it still matters. If you experience any type of emotion, it still matters. It's like the cycle has to stop at some point, and you have to be the one to end it. End it with yourself. End it with the people around you. As an adult, I made a vow to myself when that little shit was born. My niece, I don't care if I don't see her every day. I don't care. I will make sure in every single way possible she will never go through what I go through. And I can only do so much, and I do everything I can. But if you see this happening as well, you need to be the one to stop the cycle. Like I said, stop it with yourself. But if you have younger sisters, if you have nieces, if you have older sisters, speak up for them. Be their vocal outlet. Stand up for them. Allow them to be. Allow them to exist. Allow them to fuck up. Allow them to make mistakes. And allow them to cry in your arms every single time they need to. Because as a parent, that's what the fuck you do. You don't sit here and say, well, I feed you. Well, I do this. Well, you also laid the fuck down, opened your legs, and had me. Whose fault is that? Stop fucking. Whose fault is that? Don't sit here and brag and throw in my face basic needs when you can't even provide emotional stability for me. Don't. Because I don't give a fuck about none of that. I don't give a fuck that I have a roof over my head and food. Great. Thank God. You did the bare minimum. You did the bare minimum. Yet everybody around you still fucked up. So clearly there's a common denominator. Don't ever allow anybody to throw basic necessities, basic needs, basic feelings, basic wants in your face for being human. Don't. And, I'm going to be honest. We took 8 different routes during this episode. And I said a lot of shit I probably wasn't supposed to say. But Like I said, it's my podcast. My podcast. Can I tell y'all one more thing? I hate to dump. I actually love to dump, actually. One more thing is I had a college tour set up for me here at UNCG, the college I go to now. I had it set up junior year of high school, I believe. I already knew I was moving to North Carolina. I already knew it. She told me I couldn't, told me I wouldn't do it, told me I wouldn't be able to do it. Michi taught me how to get my credit right. She never taught me. No, my dad didn't. Nobody ever fucking taught me how to do that. And I still did it. I made myself do it. But I had a college visit set up for me. I had it. Yes, I did. Everybody went. She told me I couldn't go. Guess what, though? I'm a senior there now. And I'm about to graduate with my degree, so I don't give a fuck. Okay? I don't give a fuck. First gen, don't give a fuck. Baddie, breaking cycles, being a winner, being my own hero. And that's what you gotta do. Sorry, y'all, I had to give myself a pep talk in the mirror. It was a heavy episode. It was. And I got a lot of stuff off my chest. And I hope throughout this conversation that the things I said are examples of what not to do or what to speak up about. Maybe they're things you have experienced and you're like, well, damn, I didn't know it was that serious. I knew I felt some type of way about it, but I thought I was being dramatic. Or if you haven't experienced that, learn what not to do. Learn how to help your friends if you see them in this cycle. Learn how to help the woman around you. Help the daughters fucking around you. Y'all, we struggling, y'all. Because we were never taught how to be an adult and how to regulate our emotions or how to think clearly. And that's why a lot of the times you can't compare yourself to people. And I think for a second I did. I really, really did. But then when I looked at these people and I looked at how they were judging me, I had to realize they come from completely different backgrounds. They have the phone sliding. I don't give a fuck. They have completely different backgrounds. They have stable homes. They had parents who put them on credit cards. They have parents who were there for them emotionally. They had parents who showed up for them for everything. And it's really hard, especially when you marry into someone like that, because that's very much Michi for me. Very much a family guy. Everybody in the family love each other so close. So much fucking family. Holy hell, they're everywhere. And it's a blessing. If you have those people in your life. For a second, I just rejected it. Like, for years, I rejected it. I hated it. And I'm like, but you don't understand. I want my people. I want my brother here. I want my sister here. Like, I understand your people are here, but I want my people here. And you just got to stop fighting it. I had to stop fighting it. I actually am low-key becoming a family person, y'all. Like, I was always a bedroom kid. And then like Granny's here visiting, my cousin, Michi's cousin, Jairo, my roommate, like everybody, they're all living room people. They all love being together. They all love existing. Me, bedroom kid. Like, I remember like at Thanksgiving, girl, I want to go upstairs and eat by myself. And she's like, what the fuck? Everybody wants to see you. And I'm just like, well, no, I don't want to go out there. And then like people might argue, liquor gets involved, drugs get involved. These things follow you to adulthood. And don't blame yourself as a child for not healing then. We can only do so much when we're kids. I didn't know. I didn't think anything was wrong until I finally was an adult and started looking at other shit. And I was like, 1 + 1 ain't equaling 2 right now. This don't look normal. Something's wrong. And my family might still think I'm dramatic. And, a lot of people might still listen to this and they might think, well, blood's still thicker than water. Yeah, in my ass. Mm-hmm. My blood will be thicker than water. Mine will. From here on out. But I don't think, I've had so many people tell me that. If you are one of those people who tell people that, I please ask you to stop. Out of respect, stop telling people you only get one mom. Stop telling people you only get one sister. You only get one this. Forgive them. It's family. No. It's my life. I'm not going to kill myself in the process. I'm not going to get autoimmune disorders in the process. I'm not about to stress myself out in the process. I'm not about to tiptoe around and still be whispering, talking shit, doing all this shit at fucking 30, at 40, at 50, at 60, at 80, because I'm still miserable. I'm not about to be having Thanksgivings where none of my kids show up. I'm not putting myself in a predicament to even experience that. So no, when somebody tells me you only get this, you only get one this, and they only get one me, sorry they fucked it up. They are not getting a new car. No. You all my listeners, y'all, I'm gonna buy everybody a purse. Very soon. It's on the way. It's shipping to y'all right now. But no, I don't owe anybody shit. I don't. And like I said, I always say this, I don't care if it's the stupidest fucking reason you want to cut somebody off. It is your life. I said you have to save yourself. Even if it's toxic, even if it don't make sense. You need to choose you. You need to be like, okay, well, I don't like this. I'm choosing the way out. I'm choosing better. I'm finding better. I will meet people that love me. I will find a village. I will find a community. I'm meant to find my own family, and that's okay. It sucks. And I think I've just finally got to a point where I'm able to accept it. Fine. But I'm able to accept it now. And I'm able to move on, and I'm able to learn and love throughout this way, because would I sit here and say I don't love any of them? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I love my family to death. But I think that my family overall, with everything, has harbored so many deadly cycles throughout centuries that I will not participate in, that I will not continue. And I think, as my listeners, I don't want y'all to continue that either. If you see some shit, say some shit. If you deal with some shit, say some shit. Stop trying to keep the peace. Stop trying to be nice. Stop trying to do that. Your mental health, your self-worth, your self-image, everything is so much more important than any type of fucking peace you want to keep. Any type of peace. Your healing is your priority, and it always should be. Because you are the easy child, be a fucking difficult adult. I'm difficult as fuck now. I'm difficult as fuck to reach, difficult as fuck to talk to. If you don't even communicate right, get the fuck out of my face. I don't play that shit. I don't. I'm not allowing myself to get put back in the same positions I was once in. I don't care if that makes me mean. I don't care if it makes me difficult. I don't care if it makes me a horrible person. I don't. Because I know deep down, I do everything out of love, and I always have. And a lot of the times, it has not landed me in good places. It hasn't. But I will continue to show up with love. But I will be stern in with the way I love myself. I think I always was loud about how I loved others. I never loved myself enough to stick up for myself, to do anything. Anybody who looks at me the wrong way now, breathes the wrong way, can truly get the fuck out of my face. Can truly get the fuck out of my face, because you're wasting my time. If you're not here to help me heal, if you're not here to pour love into me, to be a good friend, to be a good acquaintance, to be a good confidant, someone who can just congratulate me when they see me doing good. I have had not one person in my family say good shit about anything I've done. I don't think they know what I've done in the past 5 years, because I knew I couldn't get it from them. So guess what? You know where I'm getting my congratulations? You guys. You guys are what I spend. Oh, shit, y'all. I'm finna cry. Like, this is an actual cry, though. Sorry, y'all. I'm in my luteal phase, right? I'm about to start my... I'm sorry. Listen, if you're still here, if you're still listening, please understand how much I appreciate you guys. You guys texting me, tagging me, commenting, telling me how much I've helped you guys, or how much me just yapping about my issues has helped you realize how to deal with yours, or how to love, or how to move on, coming to me for advice, or deeming me worthy of answering your questions. I appreciate it so much. And my biggest goal in life is to heal myself the best way I can, and just love always, and just be kind, but also teach others how to do that while still existing fully, while still being true to themselves and living the best life they can, because you don't get second chances. You don't. You need to do it today. There is no wrong decision. You make your life, but you don't need to deal with necessary pain. There's no rule book to life. You do not have to deal with anything. And I never want you guys to put yourself in predicaments where you just accept pain, where you just accept abuse. Like I said, no matter how stupid or small, don't play small in your life. Take up space, be big, be loud. Don't be big bags. I'm sorry, y'all. I said be big, and I'm just like, well, damn, I'm just out here telling them to be big. That's not what I mean. But lock in for the sake of yourself. Make crazy fucking goals. I have goals so high that when I achieve them, I just want to do a villain laugh for myself, because I know the potential I have, and I know that I can keep healing and keep growing and learning to get there. Life is a constant circle. It's a constant swirl. Y'all know what I say. It's just fucked up and just goes. Like I said, life's gonna fuck you regardless. So it's really on how you heal. You know? And you can't heal when you got negative fucking Nancy's around you, can you? No. 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 And if you're a woman listening to this, be a bad bitch. I don't know. I don't know who made us daughters, but period. 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 Don't continue the mother issues. If you hate your mother, don't hate your daughter. Don't. I hate to say it, but don't be one of them people who will be like, I wish I don't get pregnant with a daughter because I just can't. You know, I just know how this was. Babe, I promise a lot of the time it's just your mommy issues. I promise you know how your childhood felt and you don't want to do that to your daughter, or you think they're this or that. But I promise you thinking like that is only repeating cycles. It's only creating toxicity. Why would you want your daughter to come into this world feeling unwanted? Right? Because low-key, like, my brother was the favorite, like, you know, because he was a boy and shit, like, whatever the fuck it was like. Just playing. That was biased. Anyway, that was today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it for what it was. And for what it can be. I can only get better, right? And maybe I'll be more structured one day, or maybe I'll continue to just be free-flowing in a jolly hoe. Maybe. Who knows? But I know that you guys will be great. You already are great, and life will take you to amazing places if you allow it. If you allow it. And if I do know you and you did listen to this, forget anything. No, not forget anything. Forget everything. Forget everything you heard today. Today's episode. You don't know me. If you know my family, no the fuck you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. Love you. Bye.